Hi survivors, it's me Purpose Zan reporting back to you. Guys, today I'm having to inform you guys about something that's really troubling to me. And that is that Social Security won't be able to pay full benefits by 2034. And of course, it's because of the pandemic and all these things that are associated with it. You guys, this is just horrible. There's so many people who depend on Social Security, and most of these people are some ill people, and then we have some of our beloved veterans who are receiving Social Security benefits. Then you have retired people who are retired, who are receiving, their Social Security benefits of all the times and all the years they work, and they put that money into the system. It goes on to state that Social Security will have to cut benefits by 2034 if Congress does nothing to address the program's long-term funding shortfall, according to an annual report released Tuesday by the Social Security Administration and Medicare trustees. That's 1 year earlier than reported last year. By that time, the combined trust funds for Social Security will be depleted and will be able to pay only 78% in promised benefits to retirees and disabled beneficiaries. The COVID-19 pandemic and economic recession are to blame for moving up the depletion rate by a year, driven by the big drop in unemployment and resulting decline in revenue from payroll taxes. The trustees also project a higher mortality rate through 2023 and a delay in births in the short term. But it remains unclear what the long-term effects of the pandemic will be on the funds, and the trustees will continue to monitor developments. Last year's report did not take into account the effects of the pandemic. The projections for Medicare are roughly on par with last year's report. The trust fund for Medicare Part A, which covers hospital and nursing home costs for seniors, will be depleted by 2026. So that's like 5 more years from now. That's insane. The same year as reported last year. At that point, the program would only be able to pay out 91% of promised benefits. Medicare Part B, which helps seniors pay for doctor visits and outpatient care, as well as Part D, which covers prescription drug benefits, are adequately financed into the indefinite future, the report said. That's because the law requires automatic financing for them. At the end of 2020, about 65 million people were receiving Social Security benefits, and nearly 63 million were covered under Medicare. The trustees urge lawmakers to act sooner rather than later to address the long-term shortfall, but Congress has long punted on addressing the solvency of the trust funds. Lawmakers could increase payroll taxes, curtail benefits, or enact some combination of both. President Joe Biden campaigned on expanding Social Security benefits, but his economic agenda has thus far left the entitled program untouched. Biden fired Social Security Commissioner Andrew Saul earlier this summer after Saul refused to submit his resignation as the president had requested. The White House alleged that Saul, a Donald Trump appointee, undermined Social Security disability benefits. Republicans criticized the move, urging that Saul had bipartisan support and that his removal would polarize the agency. So we see there's all types of issues, and I hate these political parties and these politicians. It's just terrible. These people are supposed to do the right things for the American people. This stuff shouldn't be about politics already. We have so many of our senior citizens that depend on this program. We have so many hardworking people who put so much time and money into the system that depends on this system. That depends on Social Security benefits and Medicare. Medicare is a crucial program. So many of our sick loved ones depend on Medicare. This is it's just spiraling out of control, y'all. I'm telling you, it's like everything around us is just spiraling out of control. And I just like to encourage you guys, just if you are one of the Social Security recipients, I know that you don't get a lot. Even if you're getting, if you're retired and you're getting your Social Security money, but all I could suggest is no, but all I could suggest is all of us, we have to tighten up on our spending. We're gonna have to really tighten up on our spending. You have some Social Security recipients who have appointees, who have like payee representative people who are responsible for caring for these people who the Social Security give the representative payees the money for the actual recipients, and those people are responsible for taking care of these people bills and looking out for their medical care, and as far as making sure they're receiving housing, making sure, like I just stated, their bills are paid, making sure they have clothes and food and things like that to eat. And even the representative payees, you guys going to have to be tighten up and be very, very responsible of what you do with the Social Security recipients' money. This is really, really, really getting serious, you guys. I mean, it's really getting serious, and I would like to encourage, if you have family members that you can stay with, or even friends, community living to me right now is so important. You have so many people who have left their condos, left their apartments, left where they were living, and moved back with family members. You have family members coming together because they see the times that we are living in. Everybody's trying to pull in together and help one another. This is very necessary. If you are alone, if you're by yourself, just to try to cut back as much as you possibly can. We're going back to those days of eating just beans and rice, basically. I hate to say this. I'm telling you, everybody's having to cut back. I have wealthy friends who have cut back significantly. I'm talking about selling properties of theirs. And when I saw their behavior and I saw what they were doing, I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? I better start tightening up. If these people were millionaires, they're cutting back on their spending. A lot of expenses that they once had, they no longer have. Those car notes, they can cut back on that and just using those cars and keeping those cars that are paid for. So it's all types of ways and things we can do to cut back. It may not be easy, y'all. A lot of us Americans, we are spoiled. We are truly spoiled. And I didn't realize this that much until the pandemic. People were going crazy because they couldn't get their manicures and pedicures and go to the salons and, stuff that people in other countries are highly deprived of. If they could do something like that, then so, we get a lot of luxuries, even when it comes to food. People who receive like the benefits, like the food program, like the food stamps and the Medicaid, they in the housing. I mean, people in other countries, they would feel like they were rich if they was getting that type of stuff, those types of benefits. So all of us, we're gonna have to tighten up our belts, y'all. I don't know for how long this is going to last, but it's just getting worse and it's getting worse. So you guys hang in there. We all have to hang in there, be there for one another. And I was just thinking this morning, on top of everything else that we have to deal with in life, we having to deal with this pandemic and the effects of it. And the mandates, it's like we already had things we were dealing with in our own lives, and we still do with ourselves, our jobs, or our businesses, or our families. And now we have to, be thinking about all this stuff that's being affected with this pandemic. And I'm just kind of over it, not in the sense of ignoring it, because we can't ignore it because it affects our daily lives. It's affected me. My mother had the virus, my daughter. I got sick caring for them with it. I've had to make a lot of decisions with my loved ones. I've lost a lot of work because of it. I have to make a lot of decisions based and surrounding it. A lot of work I was getting out there in New York, no longer getting that. Some tenants I had on some properties, they're no longer there because of the pandemic and people losing their income. It's just a lot of different things all of us are dealing with. So we're gonna have to just tighten up with our finances, help one another as much as we. This is the problem. People don't want to. We don't want to look out for one another. You know, I know, and a lot of times with a lot of people in a lot of different communities, you got one person in the family, everybody depending on. You can't do that. You can't put that burden all on that one person like that. Everybody needs to pitch in. Everybody needs to help. I miss those days of growing up when all of us, all the neighbors come together. We help one another. In the country, they still do that. That's why I love the country. The city, I'm just over it. People are selfish. You know, you get up these days in the city, your neighbors don't even speak to you. You don't even speak to your neighbors. It's like everybody's just got their own thing going, and it's really, really sad. Now we during these troubling times, we in a bad predicament because of it. And we're in a bad predicament because we depend on this system that is just terrible. That's just awful. You know, we got to go back to how our grandparents them used to do things, y'all. Okay, y'all, leave me a comment. Hit the like button if you can, please. And if you like this commentary, please subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on BitTube, on Prepper Zan, on Twitter, and also my other YouTube page, which I can lately I just say what I want to on that page. I haven't been censored. Don't want to be censored. And on this page, y'all, I have to water down everything, and I'm not used to that. So y'all will, if y'all really want to know how I feel about things, follow me on those other pages. All right, take care. Keep surviving. ZanHarrold.com.